starters for the Brewers, leading off the first baseman, number 4, Judd Davis. Batting second, the center fielder, number 11, Justin Hoffman. Batting third, number 6, the left fielder, Hunter Ranweiler. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 8, Wade French. Batting fifth, number 30, the right fielder, Jayden Dillmeier. Batting sixth, number 34, third baseman, Brayden Zimmerman. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 20, Andrew Peters. Batting eighth, number 31, the second baseman, Cole Ranweiler. And batting ninth, number 0, the catcher, Josh Seidel. And pitching for the Brewers, number 33, Mitch Bockenstedt. The Brewers are managed by...
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.
Hello and welcome to Springfield, Minnesota for another presentation of the Class C Town Ball State Tournament. It's been a fun one today. The nightcap of our triple header in Springfield this afternoon will be the New Ulm Brewers facing the Prior Lake Mudcats. New Ulm out of Region 2C. They compete in the Tomahawk East. Prior Lake Mudcats representing Region 3C. They play in the Dakota Rice Scott, also known as the DRS. An exciting matchup today. The Brewers coming in 17-8. Prior Lake Mudcats 9-6. The Mudcats are managed by Greg Fowey, the manager who's been there since 1997. And New Ulm, no stranger to the state tournament. Manager Alan Floor has been coaching here for 12 years, and they've been to the state tournament 10 times.
Leading off, the center fielder,
and we are ready to go. New Ulm Brewers, the home team, in the black uniforms. Prior Lake Mudcats will bat first as the away team in their white or cream-looking jerseys. Johnny Houston, the leadoff hitter for the Prior Lake Mudcats, takes the first pitch inside, ball one. On the mound for New Ulm is Mitch Bockenstedt. A lanky right-hander for the Brew Crew. See, he misses for ball two. The 2-0 to Houston, pounded through the left side of the infield and a base hit. The center fielder will start the game off on a high note for Prior Lake.
Batting second, left fielder, number 12, Cole Bjorg.
And here's Cole Bjorg starting in left field tonight. The Prior Lake Mudcats order goes like this. Houston, who's on first after the single, then Bjorg, Corbin Cross, Alex Waterman, Luke Weber, Jake Lair, Ben Morrison, the pitcher, Ben Kelsey, and Jared Lair. There's a pitch in there for a strike from Bockenstedt. The count is 0-1. On the year, Bockenstedt has pitched 58 innings for New Ulm. He's given up 14 earned runs. That adds up to a ERA of 2.17 as that one is launched foul. Bjorg, a bit of a bat flip there. Watch that one fly, but that was about 15 feet foul or so. But there's a short home run porch in right field. to the pole in right field. It's 318. Left field is 342. And dead center is way out there, 452. So if you're going to hit a home run, probably going to come over that right field fence. Bjorg has 1 home run this year in the shortened 2020 season. Spockenstedt keeps Houston close to the bag. In the infield for New Ulm, it's Judd Davis at first base. At second base, there's a hit into left field. 2 batters and 2 hits. Ball gets by the left fielder. Houston's going to go to third. And Bjorg on the error goes to second. So we'll give him a single with an error. And with nobody out, Prior Lake. It's a nice rally going here.
Number 35, Corbin Cross.
Here's Corbin Cross, the third baseman. Cole Ranweiler at second base for New Ulm. At shortstop is Andrew Peters, and at third base is Brayden Zimmerman. It's the New Ulm infield. Catching for the Brewers. It's Josh Seidel. This ball is fouled off the bat of Cross. Pretty good showing here in Springfield for this nightcap. First pitch started just a few minutes before 5 p.m. We've been on schedule all day long because the first 2 games of the day ended in 7 innings via the 10-run rule. At 11 a.m., it was the Maple Lake Lakers clobbering the Alexandria Black Sox 15-2. And at 2 p.m., Carver beat Clinton 14-2. So we're hoping for a good ball game here tonight. 1-2 the count. Bockenstead to Cross. Well, I'm looking for its first out. Good stop by the backstop, Seidel. And it's 2-2. Bockenstead delivers. Cross thought about it. What's the call? And he's out. Hang on, he did not go. So it'll be 3-2. Full count. I thought he went. I called it too early. But full count. Runners at second and third. Chopper to the mound. This will hold the runner at third base. And, almost a dangerous throw. Cross out on the 1-3 punch out. And there's one away for the Mudcats. This first inning.
Fourth, the shortstop, number 19, Alex Waterman.
We'll see Alex Waterman for the first time this afternoon. Waterman, a shortstop. He was a freshman at UMD this spring. Started some games at shortstop for the Bulldogs before the season was postponed and later canceled. There's the 0-1 pitch, foul. Bockenstead works ahead 0-2. Justin Hoffman in center field for New Ulm. In right field is Dillmeier. And in left field, there's a hit to left field. It's fielded by Ranweiler. And a run will score on the tag. Houston comes across home for the first run of the ball game. And a sac fly for Waterman.
Sacrifice fly brings up the number 5 hitter. Number 5, the second baseman, Luke Weber.
So good start for Prior Lake. Hunter Ranweiler out there in left. Got 2 Ranweilers on the team. 2 Hopper to second. And New Ulm gets out of the inning. Got 2 hits and 1 run for the Mudcats in the first frame of the ball game here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
1 run on 2 hits.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Ben Morrison will start the game for the Prior Lake Mudcats. Morrison, a 39-year-old veteran, pitching for the Mudcats for a long time. Back in the day, used to play at the Minnesota State Mankato for the Mavericks. Just about 40 minutes away from here in Springfield. The lineup for the New Ulm Brewers: batting first and playing first base will be Judd Davis. Then it's Justin Hoffman, Hunter Ranweiler, Wade French, Jayden Dillmeier, Brayden Zimmerman, Andrew Peters, Cole Ranweiler, and Josh Seidel will be batting ninth and playing catcher for the Brewers. Wade French, the designated hitter, batting fourth in place of the pitcher Mitch Bockenstead. So here's Judd Davis. Shows bunt on the first pitch of the ball game. Cross charging in from the hot corner. After that bunt attempt, he'll play at the grass. Here's the windup. And the pitch to Davis misses. So 1-1. Swing and a foul right off the very end of the bat of Davis. Davis, a relative of Andy Price, who's running the show for us. PrepSpotlight.tv. Sure Andy's watching somewhere. There's a hit to the gap in right center field. And a nice play. Running back for it was Houston in center field. And one away for the Brewers.
Batting second, number 11, the center fielder, Justin Hoffman.
So another lefty steps into the box for New Ulm is Justin Hoffman. Hoffman swings at the first offering and misses. Hoffman's batting .326 on the season. He's got 4 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 homers. Pitch is outside. One positive for this New Ulm team this year, and there has been plenty, of course, because they're at the state tournament. They've been able to play over 25 games this summer in a year that a lot of teams like Prior Lake, they've only been able to play 15. So down in back in late July, New Ulm went down to Iowa to play a doubleheader down there before they could play at their home ballpark. 2-2 the count. Morrison winds and fires, misses low. And a walk. The Brewers have a base runner. That's Justin Hoffman.
Batting third, left fielder, number 6, Hunter Ranweiler.
Here's Hunter Ranweiler. Hunter is playing for the Wilmer Stingers this summer in the Northwoods League. There's a pass ball. Hoffman skips to second base. Hunter Ranweiler currently playing at Minnesota State Mankato. So a Maverick alum and Ben Morrison working against a current Maverick, Ranweiler, and there's a hit right back at Morrison. Off his shins, no problem for the veteran. And 2 away here in the first inning.
Batting fourth, number 8, the designated hitter, Wade French.
Hoffman advances to third base on the ground out. Here's Wade French, the designated hitter. A veteran on this New Ulm team. At 30 years old. He's played for the Brewers for many years. At the many state tournaments. One and one the count, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Morrison delivers. It's a high pitch hit for a base hit into left field. So French makes a big turn too. I think that pitch was at French's eyeballs and he smacked it into center field on a line drive. Marked down an RBI for the designated hitter.
30, the right fielder, Jayden Dillmeier.
Here's Jayden Dillmeier. Batting 5th for the Brewers. On deck is Brayden Zimmerman, the third baseman. First pitch from Morrison's in there for a strike. Prior Lake infield. At first base, it's Jared Lair. At second base, it's Weber. Shortstop, Waterman. And Cross is over in the hot corner at third base. Outfield is Bjord. In left, Houston. In center, Jake Lair. In right. Behind the dish for Prior Lake, is Kelsey, Ben Kelsey. Count reads 2-1. Game tied 1-1. Count moves to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Low. Make it a full count. French at first base will be running. And there he goes. And it's in there for a strike. Looks like a slider. So 1 hit for the Brewers. That was enough to tie the game 1-1 after 1. You're on PrepSpotlight.tv.
If you have questions about anything, look for somebody in a bright yellow shirt and they will help you out. Leading off the top of the second for Prior Lake, the right fielder, number 16, Jake Lair.
Right fielder Jake Lair steps in from the right side. Start off this second inning. He swings at the first pitch, hits it shallow center field. This one will drop in for a base hit. And just like last inning, the Mudcats start out the frame with a base hit.
Brings up the pitcher, number 1, Ben Morrison.
Ben Morrison up now, comes in with a 182 batting average on the season. Just 1 extra base hit, that's a double. He's drawn 1 walk and struck out 8 times. He shows bunt on the first pitch, lets it go for a strike. Third baseman Zimmerman for the Brewers, playing about 4 steps in. Anticipating the bunt, there it is, or an attempt at least. Morrison can't get it down, 0-2. Jake Lair, the right fielder, is the base runner at first base. Bockenstead checks. Morrison sends one high into left field. Ranweiler makes the easy grab and 1 away here in the top of the second.
Catcher, number 27, Ben Kelsey.
Here's Ben Kelsey. Kelsey swings and misses. The Mudcats, one of 2 town ball teams in Prior Lake. The Prior Lake Jays are a team that competes in Class B. The Jays started their team in the mid-'80s, and with the expanding city of Prior Lake back in the early 90s, the Mudcats began as a Class C team in 1991. Here's the 1-2. Lifted to right field. And cutting over and making the grab is Dillmeier.
Brings up the first baseman, number 22, Jared Lair.
Jared Lair will round out the Mudcats lineup, batting ninth. Houston, the top of the order for the Mudcats, is on deck. Jake Lair still over at first base. And with 2 outs and a tie ball game, we'll see if he tries to swipe a bag and get into scoring position. Stays put. Count goes to 2-0. Misses and it hits him. Looked like it got just a piece of Lair's knee.
Back to the top of the order, number 17, the center fielder, Johnny Houston.
And with 2 outs, Johnny Houston is the batter, the 5th hitter of this second inning. Houston grounds to second, and they got him. Houston made it a closer play than it probably should have been. But that's the inning. The Mudcats get 1 hit and leave 2 base runners. After 1.5 innings, it's 1-1.
Also on the inside cover, you'll find a diagram for the traffic flow around the ballpark. Also pay close attention to those arrows on the ground. And
fans, be sure to visit townballmn.com and revisit the 2019 Emmy Award nominated series Townball Uniquely Minnesota, an 8-part series that looks at the very essence of the Minnesota amateur baseball scene. Log on to townballmn.com to download your favorite episode or the entire series. That's townballmn.com.
Leading off the bottom of the second.
Bottom half of the second inning.
Number 34, Brayden Zimmerman.
Will be led off by Brayden Zimmerman, the third baseman. His first plate appearance of the ball game. For New Ulm, it'll be Zimmerman, Peters, and Cole Ranweiler. Ben Morrison out of the windup. Misses for ball 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit him. So Jared Lair got hit last inning for the Mudcats. And Zimmerman is aboard.
Shortstop, number 20
for the Brewers.
Andrew Peters.
On a hit by pitch. Here's Peters, the shortstop. 4-2 in the 7-hole. Shows bunt, lays it down, left side of the infield. Morrison, throw wildly to first base. And the speedy running of Peters forced Morrison to hurry that throw. He threw it errantly to first. It drew Jared Lair off the bag. They're going to
brings up the second baseman, number 31, Cole
give
Ranweiler.
Morrison an error there. Credit to Lair for laying out there and keeping that ball in front of him. That could have been trouble. Zimmerman at second, Peters at first, and another bunt is shown. Foul ball. I think that one hit Ranweiler after it hit the bat. Did not square that one up very well. So nobody out here, 2 base runners on. Morrison steps off. And that one hit him. Second batter hit of the inning, and just like that, the Brewers have the bases loaded.
Catcher, number 0, Josh Seidel.
Josh Seidel in the 9th spot will step in from the Brewers from the left side of the box. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Seidel with 5 RBI on the season. Grounds to third base. They'll come home. Got the force out. So Zimmerman cut off at the plate. He is the first out. Peters to third. Ranweiler to second. And Seidel
First baseman, number 4,
reaches
Judd
first base on the
Davis.
fielder's choice. But oh boy, Judd Davis stepping in now. The base is loaded. Top of the order for the Brewers. It'll be Davis, Hoffman, and Ranweiler. Hunter Ranweiler. Here's Morrison, now working out of the windup. To center field. Is it deep enough for a tag? Peters is going to score from third. The throw to third is going to keep Ranweiler at second. But the New Ulm Brewers take their first lead of the ballgame, 2-1.
Sac fly brings up the center fielder, number 11, Justin Hoffman.
So 2 outs now, and Justin Hoffman will bat with Seidel at first and Ranweiler at second. Morrison back in the stretch. Shows bunt with 2 outs. Base runners way off the bag, and sliding back safely is Seidel. Kelsey keeping these Brewers runners honest on the base paths. Oh, on the count with 2 outs. Morrison misses wide. One also misses, make it 2-1. And Hoffman has worked the count to 3-1. In his 6th year with the Brewers. It's a pickoff. Nobody was at second for a throw. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The runners will be running here. There they go. And that is high for ball 4. Bases juiced
6,
once again.
left fielder, Hunter Ranweiler.
Hunter Ranweiler, the batter now. Ranweiler hit a rocket right back at the pitcher Morrison in the 1st inning. Morrison was able to glove it, throw him out at first base. Morrison struggling to find the strike zone this inning. One and one. No hits for the Brewers this inning. 2 batters were hit by a pitch. 1 reached on an error, sacrificed fly, and a walk. Morrison out of the windup, 1-2 pitch. In there for a strike. Ranweiler goes down looking, and the Brewers leave him juiced. In the bottom of the 2nd, they do pick up 1 run on no hits. They leave 3, and it's 2-1 after 2.
Leading off the top of the 3rd.
So we have a
for the
final in
Mudcats, the
Class
left
A.
fielder, number 12, Cole Dior.
The Minnetonka Millers defeated the Highland Park Beavers 10-3 in the semifinal. So they will advance to the Class A championship and face the Minneapolis Cobras. That one was supposed to start at 5 p.m. I think it'll start about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes later. That's a rematch of the 2019 title game. Minnetonka and Minneapolis. That game can be streamed live as well on prepspotlight.tv. Bjorg, the hitter for the Mudcats. He hits the 2-0 pitch into left field. That is slicing towards foul territory. It is handled and caught by the left fielder Ranweiler, and 1 away in the 3rd inning.
3rd baseman, number 35, Corbin Cross.
Cross watches the first pitch go by for a strike. So Prior Lake coming into this tournament via Region 3. A region with 4 bids. Prior Lake beat St. Benedict in the first round, then they lost to New Prague. Got sent to the losers bracket. Beat Faribault 11-3 and lost to Union Hill in the losers bracket final, but still able to punch their ticket to the state tournament. Nice catch by a fan over there. Barehanded. He just tosses it nonchalantly back in the infield. 0-2 pitch. Outside, Cross holds back. Bockenstead bringing the heat. And the 1-2. Did he go? He did. Bit of a delayed call there, but same result. Cross goes down swinging, well, half swinging.
Shortstop, number 19, Alex Waterman.
And 2 up, 2 down. Waterman steps in. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. That brought in Johnny Houston for the Mudcats. Lone run of the ball game. Mudcats are out hitting the Brewers 3-1. Second pitch misses, 1-1. Bockenstead not messing around this inning. He's got Waterman, 1-2. And in there, second strikeout of the inning and second of the ball game.
3 up and 3 down for the Mudcats in the third.
We head to the bottom half of the third inning. 2-1 the score. Brewers trying to add on to their lead.
So happy to be able
Runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left. Carrying deep away back. Miller to the fence. It's gone! A 2-run bomb wins it. Ethan Rowe, a 2-run shot. And the St. Anthony Hogs defeat the Minneapolis Angels 7-5 in walk-off fashion. His second home run of the night. A 2-run shot to left.
Those were some highlights from the first week of the Class A tournament. Saw a walk-off homer for the St. Anthony Hogs. Ethan Rowe, a big moment. I believe the Hogs lost yesterday in the quarterfinals. As I said before, Class A championship is set. Minnetonka Millers and Minneapolis Cobras. That game begins shortly on PrepSpotlight.tv. But here it's 2-1 in the first round of Class C. New Ulm with the early advantage. French, Wade French, the designated hitter, is down 0-2 in the count. And Morrison just misses. French. That was a beautifully sounding hit. This one will go extra bases. French is going to try to slide into second. He will just in time. A leadoff double. People are
Leadoff double brings up
talking
right
about
fielder,
missing the
number 30,
sounds and
Jayden
smells of
Dillmeier.
baseball, the crack of the bat. That's what they're talking about right there. Wade French, 2 for 2 on the day. Had a RBI single in the first, leadoff double in the third. Showing bunt is Dillmeier. The hold back. 1-0. Showing bunt again, getting it down to the right side. French will head over to third. Almost a bad throw, but handled by the second baseman Weber. Bunt was fielded by Jared
Brings up
Lair.
the third baseman, number 34, Brayden Zimmerman.
Zimmerman comes to the plate with the runner on third and 1 out. Morrison works out of the windup. Finds the strike zone. And again, 0-2. New Ulm, one of 3 bids out of Region 2. The Lamberton Long Sox and the Hanska Lakers. The other 2 bids. Lakers lost Friday night in a heartbreaker. 8-7 in 11 innings to Foley. So the Brewers trying to win one for Region 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Poked to shallow left, and that'll be just enough. RBI single for Zimmerman. And another run for the Brew Crew. It's 3-1.
Shortstop, number 20, Andrew Peters.
Peters steps in. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul on the first baseline. Peters, one of the 3 New Ulm players to come around and score. He reached on an error by Ben Morrison in the second inning. Scored on the Judd Davis sacrifice fly. One out here, bottom of the third. And the 1-1 pitch is taken for a ball, 2-1. Another one outside. Morrison struggled a bit with control in the second. He hit 2 batters, walked another, but got out of a jam. And there's ball 4. The 3rd walk of the day for Morrison.
Brings up the second baseman, number 31, Cole Ranweiler.
Cole Ranweiler's the hitter, the younger brother of Hunter, who was hitting the 3rd spot today for the Crew. Cole's a senior at New Ulm. And manager Alan Floor told me he might be seeing some Division II interest at the next level. Maybe he'll join his brother Hunter in Mankato. 1-1 the count. Court to center. Under it is Houston, and the runners will hold up. That'll bring up the catcher, Seidel.
Number 0, the catcher, Josh Seidel.
Seidel wearing number 0. Always liked the number 0. Don't see it too often in baseball. Good looking number though. There's a bunt with 2 outs and an easy play for the catcher, Kelsey. Puts it away. So the Brewers strand 2 base runners. They do pick up a run for the 3rd straight inning, and they lead 3-1 after 3 here in Springfield, Minnesota. Who's ready to start the 4th? We are. Let's play some more ball here at Riverside Park in Springfield. Beautiful day. Temperature reached just over 90 degrees. The sun is starting to cool off a bit as we approach 6 p.m. our 3rd game.
Number 5, Luke Weber.
Of this Sunday afternoon. We started at 11 a.m. and 2 other first-round matchups in Class C. Both games ended early thanks to the 10-run rule after 7 innings. This one, though, looking much different, 3-1. Second baseman Weber watches one go by. It's 1-1. Weber, .362 batting average. Has 2 doubles this season, 11 RBI. He's walked 4 times, struck out 7. Bounces one, foul. Right to his first base coach. 2-2 the count. Jake Lair, Morrison, and Kelsey due up next for the Mudcats. And the count is full. Mudcats have got their leadoff man on 3 of the 4 innings now. First walk of the day issued by Bockenstedt.
Jake Lair.
His defense has been pretty busy behind him. He's struck out 2 hitters, walked 1. Jake Lair, the right fielder. And now Weber at first base. And Lair swings. And he wins. Fans would have liked to see that call a bit sooner. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt. Taking off is Weber, and he'll reach second base without a throw. Weber does have 4 stolen bases to his name, so he's got some speed out there. Advances there on a pass ball. There's a ground ball to third base. Fielded cleanly, high throw. Great play by Zimmerman over at third. A 5-3 putout keeps Weber at second base. And there's one away here in the 4th.
Number 1, Ben Morrison.
So Prior Lake started the game with back-to-back singles by Houston and Bjorg. But since then, only 1 hit to their name. That came via Jake Lair in the 2nd. Morrison could help himself here. Pitch. There for a strike. One and one the count, 1 out. Morrison swings and singles into right field. Weber will not come home. So Morrison lands on first, his 7th hit of the season.
Catcher, number 27, Ben Kelsey.
It's all up to Ben Kelsey. He flew out to right field in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Let's see if Prior Lake does anything with runners on the corners here. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Lair holds. 1 and 1 the count. The pitch grounded to the right side of the infield and through. Mudcats are back on the board. RBI single for the catcher, Kelsey. Weber scores from third, and we have ourselves a 3-2 ball game.
Baseman, number 22, Jared Lair.
Two runs on 5 hits for the Mudcats through this game. Got the tying run on second base, and the go-ahead run on first. Jared Lair. Here's the 0-1 offering to Lair, misses. Bockenstedt out of the stretch, way ahead of Lair. Lair might have been sitting breaking ball there. He's behind 1 and 2. And a strikeout. Third of the day for Bockenstedt.
Number 17, the
And there's now
center
2
fielder,
outs.
Johnny Houston.
In the top of the 4th, top of the order now, up for the Mudcats, Johnny Houston. Bjorg up next. Houston 1 for 2 today. He singled to start the game and grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. Hockenstead sets. This ball is lifted foul over the press box and behind us into the parking lot. One pitch. And there for another strike. Johnny Houston, big opportunity here for the Mudcats. He drives one to center field. Backing up is the center fielder, Hoffman, and he's got it. 3 outs. The Mudcats put 1 run across the board on 2 hits and a walk. It's 3-2.
Prior Lake in the 4th.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Now a 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
There's some kids doing the Macarena here in Springfield at the skate park, just to the left of the ball field. It's good to know that kids these days still know how to do the Macarena. Such a staple of the 90s. And 30 years later, here we are in Springfield, Minnesota. It's still a thing. Maybe it's made its way onto TikTok. I don't know. Some good form over there. Well, we're going to start the bottom of the 4th inning. For New Ulm, leading off will be Judd Davis. Justin Hoffman and Hunter Ranweiler due up for the Brew Crew.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Brewers, first baseman, number 4, Judd Davis.
Davis flew out to center in the 1st inning. He picked up an RBI and a sacrifice fly in the 2nd. And he'll lead off the 4th. Ben Morrison works out of the windup, misses ball 1. And there for strike 1. Judd Davis has been playing for New Ulm since he was 15 years old. He's He's now 26. So still pretty young, I like to say. I'm 26 myself. So wouldn't consider myself too washed up. Davis hammers this one to right field. Nice bat flip. Put that on the highlight reel. Davis thinking about second. He'll stay at first base. So first hit of the ball game for Davis.
Center fielder, number 11, Justin Hoffman.
Here's Justin Hoffman, the center fielder. Davis took about 2 strides towards second like he was stealing, but held back. Hoffman not able to get that bunt down. Hoffman's drawn 2 walks today, showing bunt again, and fouled it back. Here's the 0-2, showing bunt again. He's got to get it down, and he does. Hoffman's going to make this a tough play, and he's out by about half a step. Credit to Morrison, who made a throwing error earlier in the game on a bunt. Able to handle that one and just zing it over to first base.
Ranweiler.
So Judd Davis moves to second. Hunter Ranweiler, the left fielder, looking for his first hit of the game. Swings and misses. Another battle between a former Maverick of Minnesota State Mankato and a current Maverick. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded to second. Fielded cleanly. And 2 away. So Judd Davis goes from first to third the old-fashioned way.
Wade French.
Bunted over to second base by Justin Hoffman, and a ground ball to the right side gets him from second to third. It's been fun today watching all this town ball, and you see small ball being played, something you don't see much at all anymore at the big league level. This one's fouled back and lands in the parking lot behind us. One misses, makes it 1-1. There's a hard ground ball to third base. A 5-3 putout ends the inning. Cross being tested a lot over there. The hot corner, but so far so good. End of 4 innings. Brewers on top, 3-2. fifth inning.
Leading off the fifth for the Mudcats, left fielder, number 12, Cole Bjork.
And Bjorg will be the hitter. He singled in the first inning. He's been the 3-hitter for the Mudcats in their last few state tournament appearances, which if you missed it at the top of the broadcast, it's their 5th trip to the state tournaments. Their first one came in 2011. They went again in 2012. Again in 2016. They made it last year and back in 2020. Mudcats have won the opening round of the tournament every time they've made the bracket. And in 2016, the Mudcats advanced to the Sweet 16. That's as far as Greg Fowey's club has gotten. Two balls, 2 strikes to Bjork, who's leading off the 5th inning. He sends a hard ground ball to short. And got him.
Third baseman, number 35, Corbin Cross.
Seen some great fielding by both of these teams, just one error apiece, I should say. One error apiece. Cross, the third baseman, 0 for 2. He struck out in the 3rd inning and hits a chopper to short. Tough play. Did he get there in time? The throw is there in time. Tight play. Cross hustled it out, but another 6-3 put out.
Number 19, the shortstop, Alex Waterman.
Peters having an inning out there at short. Showing his range there. Threw across the body. Here's Waterman. Waterman had the sacrifice fly in the first inning. He also struck out in the 3rd. 1-1 the count. 2 outs. Weber, Jake Lair, and Morrison, the next hitters for the Mudcats. Another chopper. This one will be fielded again by Peters. Tests the arm. Throw wasn't there. Gets behind the first baseman. And Waterman to second. It's an E6. So Peters, the shortstop,
Number 5,
goes 2 for 3
Weber.
in the inning. Field and ground balls. He's been busy. Second error of the game for the Brewers. And here's Weber, a left-handed hitter. Walked and came around to score in the 4th. A lot of these ball players played baseball in college. But for Weber, he was a swimmer at the collegiate level for the Huskies at St. Cloud State. Great ball player, though, as well on the 5th spot. This Mudcats team. We might see Weber on the mound later in the ball game as well. He does some pitching Could come in relief for Ben Morrison whenever that time comes. Ground ball hit sharply, tough hop, falling to the dirt and fielding it cleanly is Ranweiler. Would love to show a replay of that, but Ranweiler almost tripped on the dirt, stuck with it, and fired it to first base for the third out.
Heading to the bottom of the fifth. Still, New Ulm leading by 1.
After 4.5, 3-2 New Ulm.
Right now,
They come to bat next.
3, St. Martin.
Right-handed hitter wears number 30. Jayden Dillmeier played at Century last year. He suffered a hamstring injury in the region playoffs.
Leading off the bottom of the
So Alan Floor, the manager, didn't know a couple days ago if he would be able to play tonight, but here he is. Batting fifth, playing right field. Swings in the first pitch and misses. Dillmeier in 17 games, he's hitting .295 for the Brewers. 13 RBI, 5 doubles, no triples or homers. He watches one go by, 1-1. Ben Morrison, the right-hander, savvy veteran out there for the Mudcats. Fires and misses, ball 2. This one is popped into left field and caught by Bjorg out there.
Brings up the third baseman, number 34, Brayden Zimmerman.
So 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zimmerman steps in, the third baseman. He's 1 for 1 on the day and also got hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. The bottom of the Brewers lineup doing a great job just getting on base. Zimmerman watches a 1-1 pitch go by, make it 1-2. Zimmerman's reached base twice. Peters has reached base twice. Ranweiler once. 5-3 high throw over the head of the first baseman. And Zimmerman into second base. An error will be charged to Cross at third. So right when I compliment the defense last inning, Brewers made an error, and now the Mudcats answer with one of their own in the bottom half
number 20, Andrew
of the
Peters.
5th. So 2 errors apiece. Andrew Peters, the shortstop. Takes a strike. Peters having a nice season. 28 hits. 3 of those doubles and 1 homer. A 21 RBI. Sends a high fly ball into right field. Might be battling the sun. Makes the catch. Runner will tag that Zimmerman from second to third. And there's 2 away, but a runner on third base.
Second baseman, number 31,
Could not
Cole Ranweiler.
have been an easy catch for Jake Lair in right field. The sun is just starting to set a bit. And it's staring right at that right field side of the infield and outfield. Two outs, Cole Ranweiler sends one to center field. Going back, this one will be dropped. Houston could not make the catch and sliding headfirst into third base with an unofficial triple is Cole Ranweiler, the youngster. And they're going to say that's a hit. So they're going to give Ranweiler a triple. Zimmerman comes in to score to make it 4-2.
Catcher, number 0, Josh Seidel.
It was a tricky play, so Houston was hit right over Houston's head. And he almost overran it, tried to turn around, and it just went off his glove. It's the hardest ball to track, is just a line drive over your head. 0 on the count. Make it 1-1 to Seidel. And he did go, strike 2. Seidel able to hold. Seidel pops one up, shallow center. Houston not going to let this one drop. He's got it. But the Brewers score 1 on the big RBI triple by Cole Ranweiler, and they extend their lead to 4-2. We head to the 6th on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Now a 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Got to say the press box here in Springfield is killing it with the soundtrack. Some great bops from the early 2000s.
Leading off the sixth.
Keeping the energy high here
Fielder, number 16,
in
Jayden
Springfield, and it would
Dillmeier.
be anyways in a 4-2 ball game. The top of the 6th inning. We'll get started with Jake Lair, the right fielder. He takes the first pitch inside. Mitch Bockenstedt, 5 innings pitched so far. He's allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. The fly ball is hit lazily to center field. Falling under it is Ranweiler, and there's one away.
Brings up the pitcher, number 1, Ben Morrison.
It'll be Morrison, Kelsey, and Jared Lair. 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Mudcats. Wind up. And the pitch is in there, 0-1. Morrison able to hold off there. He does have 1 extra base hit this year. That was a double. Swings, and he got jammed. Ball 5-3 put out, and there's 2 quick outs.
Catcher, number 27, Ben Kelsey.
Here's Ben Kelsey with 2 down in the top of the 6th. Kelsey's 1 for 2 today. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it foul. This should be playable. And it is a quick 1-2-3 inning as Seidel squeezes it. And the Brewers are coming to bat in their half of the 6th here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Heading to the bottom of the 6th, New Ulm still leads by 2. Hey, baseball fans, make sure that you're keeping the concession stand busy. There's a little bit of a line.
We'll stick it right here.
They
And
got plenty
just a reminder,
of cool
fans,
stuff
be sure
for
to
warm
visit
stuff.
townballmn.com
Anything
and
that your
revisit
belly desires.
the 2019
Also,
Emmy
don't hesitate
Award
to
nominated
swing down by
series, Town
merchandise.
Ball
Make sure
Uniquely
you got your
Minnesota,
tournament
an
programs,
8-part
you know
series that looks at
who's
the
out
very
there
essence
and
of the
what they're
Minnesota
playing.
amateur baseball scene.
Also, a little bit of history
Log on to
of the state
townballmn.com to
tournament. Just
download your
$3.
favorite
Grab one of
episode
those.
or the
Also,
entire series.
stop
That's
by J. Ricker Bats for your custom
townballmn.com.
bats. Thank you to all the volunteers
The
here
Minnesota
today.
Baseball Association is
People in
proud to
bright
present
yellow
the
shirts. If you have
2020
any
state
questions
tournaments.
about
Follow
anything,
along on their
find one of
website
them.
at
They will help you.
mnbaseball.org or
And
join the
everyone's
Twitter
got
feed
volunteer
at
lanyard. We could
MINN
not
Baseball.
do this without you.
It's at
Thank you, thank you, thank
MINN
you.
Baseball.
We appreciate your help very, very much.
I'm going to check that Twitter feed right now. earlier today. Watertown and Isanti will go head-to-head next Saturday as Watertown beat Red Wing 5-2. And Cold Spring will play Buckman next Sunday at 11 a.m. Cold Spring was all over Starbuck 12-1. Judd Davis, the leadoff hitter, will bat first for the Brewers in the 6th. And Davis sends one deep to right field. This one will stay in the park and will not be caught. Davis on his way to second. The throw not in time. And Judd Davis, the former St. Cloud State Huskies star, is aboard for the second time today.
Center fielder, number 11, Justin Hoffman.
Here's Justin Hoffman. Hoffman 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Did score a run in the first inning. Came around and scored on Wade French's RBI single. And 1-0 the count. Nobody out. Judd Davis on second base. Two-0 to Hoffman. This is for ball 3. Hoffman started playing for New Ulm as a teenager. He's playing at Concordia St. Paul for the Golden Bears. Some Division II baseball. And he walks. Morrison looks like his day is over on the mound. We'll see. There we go. Waterman's pitched 13 innings this season. He's given up 3 runs.
Number 19, Alex Waterman.
It's good for a 2.08 ERA.
For the Brewers, number 6, the left
Waterman
fielder,
has walked 6 hitters and
Ranweiler.
he's struck out 16. Ranweiler digs in. With nobody out and 2 runners on, 1 at second and 1 at first. Pitch from Waterman. He's got some heat. And there for a strike, 1-1. Waterman started the game at shortstop, came in. And showing bunt is Ranweiler. Luke Weber shifted from second base to shortstop. And then Ben Morrison took over at second. So some defensive substitutions. Waterman evens the count at 2-2. The high leverage situation for the reliever. 2 runners on and nobody out in a 2-run ball game. Jammed. Believe that got part of the bat. It did. And then it hit him. So foul ball. And we'll do it again, 2-2. And the umpire is going to talk that one over. Just to double check that they're on the same page. And it looks like they are. I think that one hit off the bat of Ranweiler, then hit his chest in the box. So it is a foul ball. 2-2. Waterman sets. And big pitch is a beautiful breaking ball. Gets Ranweiler looking.
Number 8.
So Waterman strikes out the first batter that he faces. Here's French. French has had himself a nice evening in Springfield. RBI single in the first, a double. Came around to score in the third. Watches the first one go well above his eyes. Ball 1. Again high. Waterman, the UND Bulldog shortstop. He'll be entering his sophomore season. He was batting .250 as a freshman. As a foul ball is off the mask of the umpire. And he looks to be okay. Kelsey's going to walk out there and chat with his pitcher to give the home plate umpire some time. Wade French digs in, 1 out, and the count is 2-1. Ground ball to Hopper. Will they get 2? No, they won't even get 1. Ball ends up in right field. Davis will score. Hoffman around third. He will score. And a costly error by the middle infield of Prior Lake. Brings in 2 for the Brewers. 6-2 the score.
Number 14, Brody Peterson.
third error of the game for Mudcats. And French, the designated hitter, I think he's going to look for a pinch runner. And we'll see who the Brewers send out there.
Chris Caribou.
Chris Caribou. Where's number 10 in the ball game for the first time? Still one out. And Dillmeier. Excuse me, this is Brody Peterson getting his first at bat of the ball game. He fills in for Dillmeier, who went 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Peterson now in that 5-hole. Taking off for third is the pinch runner, and the ball almost ends up in left field. But it hit the base. I think that's the only thing that kept it from rolling into left. So Caribou, the pinch runner, now standing 90 feet away from making this a 5-run ball game. And a hit to the outfield should be enough. Two. Both of the New Ulm runs this inning will be credited to Ben Morrison, as he left with 2 runners on. Alex Waterman trying to work his way through the 6th inning, and he won't without the Brewers adding another run. The pinch runner Caribou comes in to score RBI single for Peterson. And it's 7-2.
Third baseman, number 34, Brayden Zimmerman.
Waterman checks Peterson at first. Zimmerman swings and fouls him back. On the season, Zimmerman hitting .284, 5 doubles, 13 RBI. Excuse me, 2 doubles, 12 RBI. He did have a 1-run single in the 3rd. He's down 0-2 here. Upstairs, 1-2. Bouncer, foul. Down the right side of the infield. One and two the count, 1 out. Peterson checked again at first base. Well, New Ulm was the 3 seed in Region 2. Started their region play with a 5-3 win over Stark. It's a weak ground ball caught barehanded on the hop by the first baseman. And there's 2 away. Jared Lair over there making a nice play.
Brings up the shortstop, number 20, Andrew Peters.
Hit soft enough that Peterson could advance to second base. And Peters, the shortstop. Up with 2 outs. Runner at second. Pickoff attempt. That's Weber over at shortstop. First pitch is taken by Peters, and a ball, 1-0. Another one misses. So New Ulm beat Stark 5-3 in the second round of the Region 2 tournament. They beat Hanska 5-2. And then they lost 10-0 to Lamberton. But they had already clinched a bid in the state tournament. Lamberton, New Ulm, and Hanska. 3 teams that got out of that Region 2 tournament. 12 teams vying for 3 spots. Two outs, 1 runner on, 3-1 count. And fouled straight back. Got some fans to flinch down there. Testing the reflexes of the crowd here in Springfield. And it's 3-2. Inside, Waterman lost him. And this is turning into a long inning.
Brings up the second baseman
for the Mudcats.
Number 31, Cole
Defense.
Ranweiler.
And here's Cole Ranweiler. Cole Ranweiler. I think I need some more water. Pops one to left field, and this is not caught. It's over his head. Bases are going to clear. Peterson scores, and Peters scores. Ranweiler ends up at third base. His second RBI triple of the ball game. And all of a sudden, it's 9-2 Brew Crew.
Brings up the catcher, number 0, Josh Seidel.
How about the younger Ranweiler? 2 triples, was also hit by a pitch. So he's reached base 3 times, has 3 RBI. Not bad for the youngster. Seidel. Down 0-2 in the count. 0 for 3 in today's ballgame. Swung on and hit to center field. This one will land. A ribby for Seidel. And New Ulm has hit double digits. 10-2 the score. They've brought 6 runs across here in the 6th. Scored 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third, another in the fourth, another in the fifth, and then 6 runs here in the 6th inning. Ten runs on 9 hits. Popped up Center fielder camping under it, and that's the inning. It was a big one for New Ulm. They bring 6 more runs to the plate. It's 10-2 Brewers headed into the 7th inning.
Off the 7th for the Mudcats, first baseman, number 22, Jared Lair.
Rich Bockenstead back on the rubber for a 7th inning. And an 8-run cushion's got to feel good. Brewers scored 6 runs in the 6th inning. New Ulm offense was just chipping away all night. Just exploded. That's 6th. This one's far from over, though. Prior Lake just needs to string together some hits and get back in this one. We'll get started here with Jared Lair. The 0-2 pitch. Low in the dirt. That one sounded like it hurt. Seidel still holding down the backstop for the Brewers. And the 1-2 pitch is hit fair down the third baseline. We'll see if Lair wants to take 2, and he will not. So leadoff single for Jared Lair, first hit of the game.
Center fielder, number 17, Johnny Houston.
For the first baseman. Johnny Houston, the batter now. And New Ulm's going to go to their bullpen. Heck of an outing for Mitch Bockenstead. 6+ innings. He allowed just 2 runs on 7 hits.
Coming on to pitch for the Brewers, number 8, Wade French.
Bockenstead also tallied 3 strikeouts. And here comes Wade French, the veteran pitcher. Started the game at DH, hitting for Bockenstead, and he'll take his place on the mound as well. We're going to step away for a minute or 2 on Prep Spotlight and show you some highlights from Week 1 of the Town Ball State Tournament.
Now he cracks one hard to left field. A 2-run home run. Dead center field.
And the pitch. Grounded towards the right side and past the diving first baseman. coming up throwing is the right fielder. There will be a play at the plate, and he is safe. He gets underneath the tag. One in the second, and another one. How about that? The trifecta of home runs as Davis hammers it out.
Ready for the fly ball, pretty well hit the left field. Bulow going back for it, still going, and it is off the wall, or the fence, I should say. Knight around third, throw to the plate, and it would have got him, but Granger could not hang on.
Runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left. Carrying deep away back. Miller to the fence. His second home run of the night. A 2-run shot to left.
Base for the Mudcats, number 28, BJ Benz.
Wade French in the pitch for New Ulm, taking over for Mitch Bockenstead. Pinch runner over at first base. If you didn't hear the PA announcer, it's BJ Benz. He's running for Jared Lair, who got things started in the 7th with a leadoff single. Wade French. This is again, it's 2-1. On the season, French has pitched 42 innings as the ball gets by the catcher. And the pinch runner Benz basically walks to second. French has given up 13 runs in 42 innings pitched. That's good for a 2.79 ERA as he walks the first batter he faces. In Houston, just like that, the Mudcats have something sizzling out here in the 7th inning.
Number 12, Cole Bjorg.
Bjorg is 1 for 3. And with one swing of the bat, the Mudcats can be right back in this thing. As French goes over signs with his battery mate, Seidel. Nobody out here. Top of the 7th. Here's the 1-0. Misses again. So after walking Houston, French starts Bjorg 2-0. French does have 16 walks this season as he misses again and hits Bjorg to load the bases. Not how Wade French envisioned
Brings up the third baseman,
his relief
number
appearance
35,
going here.
Corbin Cross.
Corbin Cross steps in. Mudcats, one of the Mudcats' best hitters in one of the biggest spots of the ballgame. Takes the first pitch, ball skips by the catcher. And the runner at third, Benz, just didn't get a good enough lead. It's all about that secondary lead over at third base. If you can read where the ball's going to go. Good stop. Corbin Cross, 500 average coming into the ballgame. 25 for 50 on the season with 5 doubles, 12 RBI, and a 3-0 count. A walk with the bases loaded. So the pinch runner Benz comes in. Houston sits at third base. Bjorg over to second, and Cross
Brings up the pitcher
with a walk at
number
first.
19, Alex Waterman.
In steps Waterman. Started the game at short, now pitching for the Mudcats. And still nobody out. A big 0 on that scoreboard. A perfect start to the inning if you're a Mudcats fan. Bases loaded, nobody out, in the heart of the order up. In there for a strike. That had to feel good for French. The 1-1. This is low. And again, misses. Mudcats fans wanted to call balk there. And so did Bjorg at second base. 3-1 pitch. Didn't matter anyways. Waterman to first. Cross to second. Bjorg to third, and Houston comes in and scores.
He's up the shortstop, number 5, Luke Weber.
So the Mudcats just being patient up there. French has faced 4 hitters, gone walk, hit by pitch, walk, walk. Update the scorebook here, 10-4 the score. Top half of the 7th. Weber, the lefty, 0 for 2 with a walk today. And again, missing. The 2-0. In there. Strike 1. The 6th hitter, Jake Lair, on deck for the Mudcats. And a swing and a miss for Weber. 2-2 the count, nobody out. And hits him. So French loses Weber. He got 2 strikes on him, but another hit batsman with the bases loaded. And out comes the New Ulm manager, Alan Floor. Doesn't look like the Brewers are going to make a change. Well, no indication yet, at least. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. One of the Brewers draftees coming in to pitch. So Wade French has had a good day at the plate, not so much on the rubber. Faced 5 batters.
For New Ulm, draftee from the Springfield Tigers.
And didn't record now.
Number 7, Jordan Milbrath.
Hey, the hometown kid. The draftee for New Ulm from Springfield. 10-5 the score. To update our score bug. Here in the top
Now
half
batting
of
for
the
Mudcats,
seventh, Jake
right
Lair,
fielder, number 16,
the hitter.
Jake Lair.
He will face Jordan Milbrath. So a long minor league career, as we just detailed. He's with the Marlins organization, with Cleveland, with Arizona briefly. His first pitch to Lair, swing and a miss. The 0-1, foul back. Lair hangs in there. Lair 1 for 3 in the ballgame. Single back in the second. Grounded out to third base and flew out to center field. Here's the 0-2 offering. And pop to left field. This one falls in for a hit. One run's going to score. And the Prior Lake Mudcats, they're not going anywhere.
Second baseman, number 1, Ben Morrison.
Ben Morrison bats now. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up next for the Cats. Morrison also 1 for 3 today. First pitch misses high. Morrison is the 8th batter this inning. All 7 in front of him have reached safely. And just 2 hits. This one skips. Coming home is Waterman, and he will slide in safely. We've got a 3-run ball game. The 5th run scored in this 7th inning. And Morrison battling against Milbrath. 1-0 the count. Showing bunt, letting another pitch go by. Runner holds at third. That's Weber at third base. Again, all about that secondary lead at third. Sometimes all it is which way your body's leaning. If it's leaning towards home plate, you're more apt to charge to home and try to make this a 2-run ball game. Weber decided to stay, and a 3-0 count. Another walk.
Catcher, number 27, Ben Kelsey.
Mudcats are going to pinch run for Morrison. It's going to be number 7.
Pinch runner at first base, number 7, Jackson Kessler.
Jackson Kessler coming in to pinch run for Morrison. Stepping into bat is Kelsey, the catcher. He's 1 for 3 today. With the bases loaded, tying run at first base. Kelsey's the go-ahead run. Watches the pitch go by for ball 1. Ball gets by the catcher, and again, Weber holds at third. Well, compared to the deep foul territory on both the first base side and the third base side. It is a relatively short backstop. 2-0 the count. Another one in there low. Milbrath struggling to find the strike zone. Kelsey's the third hitter he faced. Lair singled, Morrison walked. Here's Kelsey. 3-0 count. In there for a strike. Not so fast, Mr. Kelsey. Kelsey doesn't like the call. And 3 on the count. There's ball 4. Kelsey joins the walk party. Weber scores. Lair to third base.
Brings up number 28.
Kessler, who's pinch running for
Benz.
Morrison, is second, and Kelsey at first base. And still not a single man out in this top half of the 7th. BJ Benz, the hitter. He takes over for Jared Lair. First plate appearance, first swing of the day. Fouls one back. Lair in this 9th spot started the inning with a single. Here's Benz filling in for him. Ooh, a high fastball called for a strike. Milbrath needed that one. 1-2 the count. Top of the order on deck for the Mudcats. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, might have broken a bat to second. They're not only going to get one. A run comes in, that's Jake Lair. There's finally one out.
Center fielder,
Kessler, who's
number
running
17,
for Morrison,
Johnny
to
Houston.
third base, and Kelsey to second. Johnny Houston will bat for the second time. In this 7th inning. Shows bunt. Ball is in the dirt. How about that pop time by Seidel? Good block. Way to keep that one in front of him. Mudcats going over the signs. Be kind of fun to see a squeeze play here. And we're going to get a pinch runner.
Pinch runner at second base, number 8, Michael Willarius.
It'll be Michael Willarius coming in the game for the Mudcats. He takes the place of catcher Kelsey. And 1-0 the count. Let's see if Houston shows bunt again. He's going to swing away and launches a pitch in for a strike. Greg Fowey, the Prior Lake manager, told me the harder a guy throws, the better. This is a very good fastball hitting team. Milbrath definitely throws hard. The 2-1 pitch. Gets away from the catcher. He's going to go. And Kessler slides in safely. 8 runs in this 7th inning, and we are tied. Unbelievable. It's still just 1 out. Another one gets away. Hilarious, the pinch runner for Kelsey at third base, holds there. Houston heads to first base with a walk.
Brings up the left fielder, number 12, Cole Bjork.
Here's the situation, guys. 5 walks this inning. And 2 hit batters. And 2 hits. That's added up to 8 runs. Runner takes off. No throw to second. The pitch was a strike, so 0-1. 1 out. O'Brath. Misses 1-1. Bjorg was hit by a pitch in the same 7th inning. What feels like 3 hours ago. In there for a strike. So 1-2. Can the Mudcats take the lead here? Cross stands on the on-deck circle. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Prior Lake Mudcats have just taken the lead. 9 runs in this 7th inning.
Third baseman, number 35, Corbin Cross.
And 11-10 the score. Corbin Cross, the hitter. Incredible play by Ranweiler over there at second. Keeping that one in the infield and recording the out. If that gets past him, it's a 12-10 game. This is the Mudcats' first lead since they led 1-0 in the first inning. Two-0 with a count. Cross, the hitter. Cross was 0 for 3, and he walked earlier in the 7th inning. His second plate appearance. That's a 2-0 pitch go by as a fastball. 2-1. Oh, that one hit the helmet of Cross. So Houston will be asked kindly to return to third base, and Cross looks just fine, and that's why you wear the helmet there. How about that? The third batsman hit.
Pitcher, number 19, Alex Waterman.
The runner at third, Houston, is going to come out of the game. I don't know if he pulled a hamstring
Number 10,
or what.
pitch running at third base, Justin Hackett.
So it'll be Justin Hackett taking over the base running duties, 90 feet away. And 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. First pitch is in there for a strike. Jordan Milbrath, Springfield native. Runner goes. There will not be a throw. Pitch is called for a strike. Cross is at second base. And Waterman has 2 ducks on the pond. Oh, 2 count, 2 outs. Ground ball, middle of the infield and through. 1 run will score. The throw to home is not in time, and another 2 runs come in. The Prior Lake Mudcats ahead now 13-10. When this inning started, it was 10-2.
Brings up the shortstop, number 5, Luke Weber.
Luke Weber bats now for the 2nd time this inning. So both Houston and Cross have scored 2 runs apiece this inning. Might need to go on the oxygen tank after the 7th. That's a lot of running. 2-0 the count. And misses inside, it's 3-0. Jared Lair started this inning with a base hit. Mitch Bockenstead was still pitching at the time. And another walk. Waterman to second. Weber to first, and in digs Jake Lair. So Mitch Bockenstead exited early in the 7th. Then we had Wade French come in relief. He faced 5 hitters. He walked 3 and hit 2 batters. And then we've had Jordan Milbrath in, and he's had trouble to locate the strike zone. So Jake Lair, the right fielder, wears number 16. And
right fielder, number 16, Jake Lair.
He's the 16th Mudcat to come to the plate this inning. 16th. The Mudcats have 3 hits this whole inning. There's the third out. All it took was one pitch from Mark Schomer. A monster inning by the Prior Lake Mudcats. They bat 16 guys. They get 3 hits and 11 runs. It's 13-10. We head to the bottom of the 7th. New Ulm tries to respond.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
An eventful top of the 7th inning. I just ran the numbers. This is what I've got on my scorebook that is an absolute mess right now after that 7th. Prior Lake batted 16 hitters. They collected 3 hits, 6 walks, and 3 batters were hit by a pitch. That is as uneventful as an eventful inning can get. So leading off the bottom half of the 7th is Justin Hoffman. He takes 2 strikes in the whole 0-2. Ranweiler on deck. Alex Waterman on the bump, line, or a grounder, I should say, into the grass in the outfield, and New Ulm has a base runner. So the Mudcats jumped ahead 1-0 in the first inning. Then after that, it was pretty much all New Ulm. It was a 4-2 ball game into the 6th inning. New Ulm brought across 6 runs to make it 10-2. I was talking with my cameraman Alex, and we saw 2 10-run games earlier today, the 11 a.m. game and the 2 p.m. game. And when it was 10-2, we were thinking, is this going to be another 10-run game? And absolutely not. Mudcats showed some patience and some fight in that 7th inning. They lead now by 3. And another pickoff attempt. Waterman just making sure Hoffman is still there at first. finally fires and delivers another strike, a fastball. It's 0-2. And it hit him. So Hoffman moves over to second, Ranweiler to first on the hit by pitch.
Brings up the first baseman, number 8, Wade French.
And Wade French will bat now. French doubled in the third inning. He got the Brewers on the board in the first with a 1-run single. He also reached on an error in the sixth inning and scored. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back into the screen. French batting .310 on the season. At 30 years old, he's seen his fair share of state tournament games with the Brewers. A team that's made the state tournament 10 times in the 12 years that Alan Floor has been at the helm. Floor's been playing with the Brewers for 25 years. One the count. Hoffman at second, Ranweiler at first, and a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. French goes down.
Left fielder, number 14.
And there's one away
Peterson.
here in the seventh inning. Brody Peterson now batting in the fifth spot. Peterson in his first at-bat of the day. That was in the sixth inning. He hit an RBI single and came around and scored. He'll face Waterman, who throws one in there for a strike. The 0-1 breaking ball. Got Peterson to shift his feet a bit as he swung. And was able to do nothing to get a piece of it. 0-2. Two strikeouts for Waterman. Not going to get number 3 there. Count moves to 1-2. One down here for New Ulm. Tying run at the plate. This is high for ball 2. The 2-2 also misses. Marking it full is Peterson. Zimmerman on deck for the Brewers. Zimmerman steps out. Swing and a miss. Waterman sticks with it. So after the first two
Brings up the third baseman,
batters get on here in the seventh,
4, Brayden
Waterman
Zimmerman.
has quieted the New Ulm Bats back-to-back Ks. And here's Zimmerman. Zimmerman's 5th plate appearance of the day. First pitch, in there for a strike. Well, the winner of this game will get, the winner of this game will get Kimball. That game will be next Saturday at 5 p.m. Not here in Springfield, but at Milroy. Here's the 0-2 to Zimmerman. Lets it go and just misses the strike zone. If Zimmerman can get on, Peters would bat next. Line drive right up the gut. Bobbled, throw to second, and got him. So Morrison, a great play, moving to his right, fielding that screamer on one hop and flipping it to second for the force. So after 7 complete, it's been a wild ride here in Springfield. We've got 2 more innings of baseball coming your way next. Prior Lake and New Ulm battling for a spot next weekend.
2 left on.
So they had to shut them off. Let them cool down. So that's just one better. That's where it's easy.
We reached the top of the 8th inning. And the Prior Lake Mudcats, after their monster 7th inning, when they batted 16 guys and scored 11 runs. See how they respond here. Morrison started the game at pitcher, now at second. Count is 2-1. Schomer out there for the Brewers. The 4th pitcher we've seen in a New Ulm uniform tonight. The 3-1. Walked him. And Kelsey will be the batter now.
Brings up the catcher, number 27, Ben Kelsey.
Schamer, a draftee from the Searles Grizzlies. Right-hander goes to work. Showing bunt is Kelsey, gets it down the first baseline. Almost a perfect bunt flip to the first baseman in time. One away. Morrison moves from first to second on the sacrifice.
B.J. Benz.
And in steps B.J. Benz. Benz grounded out last inning. Takes the first pitch strike. Swings at the second pitch he sees, and he finds himself down 0-2. Schomer misses. 1-2. The 1-2 offering. Got him on the corner. Second out of the inning. And the first strikeout for the draftee, Mark Schomer.
Number 10, Justin Hackett.
So Justin Hackett will bat. He will take over the top of the order in place of Johnny Houston. Houston scored 3 runs for the Mudcats today. Walked twice in the last inning, came around to score both times, and singled in the first and came around to score. But his day looks like it's done. It's Hackett is in from the right side. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. One, two. Morrison, who led off the inning. He sits on second base. Schomer throws, and that hit him. So another hit batsman. And Bjorg up next for the Mudcats.
Left fielder, number 12, Cole Bjorg.
First pitch from Schomer in there for a strike. Second pitch fouled on the third baseline. Going to the count, 2 outs. Runner at first and second. Bjorg swings and fans on an off-speed pitch. Couple of Ks this inning for Schomer and a much-needed scoreless frame for the New Ulm Brewers. They come to bat in the bottom half of the 8th when we return on PrepSpotlight.tv.
runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left. Carrying deep, away back. Miller to the fence. It's gone! A two-run bomb wins it. Ethan Rowe, a two-run shot. And the St. Anthony Hogs defeat the Minneapolis Angels 7-5 in walk-off fashion. His second home run of the night. A two-run shot to left.
Alex Waterman out there for the bottom half of the 8th inning. He took over for Ben Morrison in the 6th inning. The Brewers ended up scoring 6 runs in that 6th inning, but 2 of those belonged to Morrison. 4 were tagged on Waterman's box score.
Socially distanced fans, not too shabby.
And Waterman held the Brewers scoreless
for the Brewers, the shortstop, number 20,
in
Andrew
the
Peters.
7th. So Peters will get things started for New Ulm. Peters fouls one back, 1-1. Andrew Peters, .326 average on the season. Along with teammate Jayden Dillmeier. He played at Century last year. And here's the 1-2. Upstairs. Cole Ranweiler, the Brewers' hottest hitter, on deck. It's a 2-deep swing by Peters, keeps him alive. One of those swings with 2 strikes, you're just trying to hang in there and foul the pitch off. 2-2. Peters dancing in that box. Count is full. Waterman's offering is popped up. Right side of the infield, calling for it is the first baseman, B.J. Benz, and he has it one away.
Second baseman, number 31, Cole Ranweiler.
So Ranweiler, the younger Ranweiler, has arguably been New Ulm's best hitter today. He's got 2 RBI triples, one in the 5th inning and one in the 6th. And he sends one deep to left. Might be a bit too high, and it is. Able to camp under it is Bjorg, and there's 2 away. Ranweiler hit that one well, but got just a bit too under it.
Fielder, number 35, Sam Berg.
And we'll see a new name in the 9th spot for the Brewers, batting in place of the catcher Seidel. It's going to be Sam Berg. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Got him in there for a strike. Sam Berg, an .087 hitter this season. But pretty small sample size, just 23 at-bats. 2 hits, both singles. The Brewers could use a base runner. And Takes one just high. Some restless Mudcats. Fans in front of me not too happy with that call. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a foul. Top of the Brewers order due up next. Judd Davis, Justin Hoffman, and Hunter Ranweiler. The windup and the 2-2. No, sir. Berg seen a lot of pitches in his first at-bat of the day. Payoff pitch. Got him on the inside corner.
Three up and 3 down for New Ulm in the bottom of the 8th. We're heading to the 9th. New Ulm still trails by 3.
So 1 more inning to go in this first round matchup. Prior Lake and New Ulm battling to the end.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Third baseman, number 35, Corbin Cross.
Mark Schomer's been great for the Brewers since he came in that 7th inning. We saw 4 different New Ulm pitchers in that 7th. Bockenstead, French, Milbrath, and Schomer. Schomer was able to get out of it with 1 pitch. And then he held the Mudcats scoreless in the 8th. Here he is in the 9th, facing Cross, the 3-hitter. It'll be Cross, then Waterman, and Weber, barring any late game substitutions. 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. That one just missed outside. Definitely notable for Brewers fans. They got their top of the order due up next. The bottom half of the 9th, but first they've got to get through the top half. Cross the board with a walk.
Pitcher, number 19, Alex Waterman.
Alex Waterman to hit now. Wonder who Greg Fowey has planned to come in and close the game in the 9th. Could be Waterman, who's been in since the 6th inning when he took over for Ben Morrison. If the Mudcats can come away with the win tonight, Waterman would get the victory. They are able to hold the Brewers. bottom half of the ninth. Pitch missed high. Runner goes. Throw down to second is a great throw, and he's out. Cross is caught stealing. Oh, foul ball. I believe that's... It's hard to see through the equipment, but I believe catching for New Ulm now is Hunter Ranweiler. Heck of a throw from his knees to catch cross stealing. Two count. Swing and a miss.
Shortstop.
So New Ulm
Luke Weber
throws him out, and then 2 pitches later, strikes him out. 2 down here, top half of the 9th. Prior Lake would love an insurance run or 2 on top of their 3-run lead. And that 1-0 pitch finds the strike zone to even it out. In there for a strike. Schaummer for his town ball team, the Searles Grizzlies. He misses high and works the count full. He allowed 11 runs, 7 2/3 innings. 12.91 ERA. It's a very small sample size, of course, but looked like he struggled with some control in that game. 8 walks, 7 2/3 innings. And there's a walk for Weber. Mudcats not done here in the 9th.
Right
Here's
fielder,
Jake Lair.
Number 16, Jake Lair.
6th at bat for Lair tonight. See if Weber takes off. Mudcats might want to get another runner in scoring position. Although Cross was just thrown out minutes ago at second trying to steal. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Jake Lair fouls one. He's down 1-2. Lair with 2 base hits. He's 2 for 5. Scored a run. And the 1-2. I'm not sure where that one was, but it missed somewhere. Two balls, 2 strikes. And wastes one away. Weber on first base. He'll take off. And he will stay at second base because Blair walks. And here's Morrison.
Baseman, number 1, Ben Morrison.
Morrison has 1 hit. He has drawn 2 walks. So he's reached base 3 of 5 trips this evening. This game just over the 3-hour mark. Started a few minutes before the scheduled first pitch at 5 p.m. Schaummer gets Morrison to swing. This one into right field. Coming in, Superman dive, a nice catch. That's Peterson out there in right. And we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. New Ulm has 1 more chance. And we'll keep it right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. We'll run through the summary of the game, set you up for this 9th inning.
Last chance for New Ulm in the bottom of the 9th. Down by 3.
So the Mudcats started the game out beautifully as Johnny Houston, the leadoff man, singled and came around to score in the first inning for a 1-0 lead. Then after that, it was all the New Ulm Brewers for a while. Brewers scored 1 in the second, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, another in the 5th. So heading into the 6th inning, it was a 4-2 ball game as the Mudcats added a run in the 4th. So 4-2. Brewers scored 6th. 6 runs in the 6th to make it 10-2, and we thought we might be heading for our 3rd 10-run rule of the day here in Springfield. But we quickly found out that was not the case. Prior Lake batted 16 men in the top half of the 7th inning. They scored 11 runs on just 3 hits. There was 3 hit batsmen. There was 6 walks. Not pretty baseball, but hey, it got the Mudcats back in the game and gave them a 13-10 lead, and that's where we sit headed into this bottom of the 9th inning. One more fun fact on that crazy 7th inning, every single position in the Mudcats order scored at least once. Houston, the leadoff hitter, and Cross, in the 3 spot, both scored twice in that inning. But 1 through 9 all came across and scored at least 1 run in that monster 11th inning. So it will be Alex Waterman to stick in the game for the Prior Lake Mudcats. He'll try to hold the Brewers off the board. Judd Davis and the top of the order for the Brewers is up. Davis takes a strike. Hoffman, Hunter Ranweiler, and French. 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters in the New Ulm lineup. Counts at 1-1. Davis 2 for 3 on the day, and it had a sacrifice fly. The second. Former standout at St. Cloud State. Faces a 1-2 count here in a big spot. Swinging and a foul ball. Just to the right of that base. And the right call by the umpire there. Waterman delivers. Ground ball right side of the infield. Diving for it is the first baseman. Can he get it out in time? He does! A beautiful diving stop by the first baseman. as B.J. Benz, an almost
Number 11,
equally
Justin
impressive
Hoffman.
cover by Waterman. And there's one away. Here's Justin Hoffman. Takes a breaking pitch, ball one. Another fastball misses. Hoffman has drawn 3 walks, and he's 1 for 2. A 2-0 pitch in there for strike 1. Two-one pitch, swung on and missed. 2-2. 2 up next is Hunter Ranweiler. And Waterman misses. Payoff pitch, full count. Ball 4. So the Brewers have a base runner in the 9th inning.
Catcher.
And this
Number
could
6,
get
Hunter
interesting pretty
Ranweiler.
fast with this Brewers lineup. Hunter Ranweiler played with the Wilmer Stingers of the Northwoods League this summer. He leads the team with an astounding 34 runs batted in. Hasn't had a great day at the plate, though. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and was hit by a pitch in the 7th. First pitch is low for ball 1. One out, bottom of the 9th. Brewers have 2 outs to work with. Ball 2 outside. And in there for a strike. All 3 Brewers hitters so far have taken a strike before swinging the bat. And ball 3. 3-1 the count. 1 out in this bottom of the 9th. Hoffman is the runner at first base. He walked. 3-1 is in there, a juicy one. Right down Broadway, and it's 3-2. Fouled off into the park playground. And we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. French on deck. Swing and a miss. And a foul ball. So Ranweiler just stays in there. Just able to get a piece of that one, and it came back and hit Kelsey. Kelsey walks it off, so we'll do it once again, 3-2. Through the left side of the infield and a base hit. All right. Here we go. New Ulm fans starting to get a little louder here in the bottom of the ninth.
Brings up the first baseman, number 8, Wade French.
Here's Wade French. He's got 2 hits to his name today, an RBI single in the first and a double in the third. And he represents the tying run with 1 out. Pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Seems like these Brewers hitters are very content taking a strike in this 9th inning. And there it is, strike 1. One and one the count, 1 out. Swinging and lifting one into left field. It is foul. Hooked foul. By about 8 feet. An inside fastball. And French almost parked that one for an extra base hit. Waterman waiting for his left fielder to get back in position. We're all squared away. The count is 1-2. 2 runners on. And misses. 2-2. That's what you love about playoff baseball. Every pitch matters. The 2-2 is just high. Both Waterman and Kelsey, the battery. And a pause there. Not too sure where that one was either. Oh, it's a 3-2 count. Payoff. Slapped to shortstop. Could be 2. There's 1. Throw to first, no throw. Ranweiler is out at second for the second out of the ballgame, or the inning. Hoffman stands at third base. French at first.
Peterson.
And now Brody Peterson. The New Ulm Brewers down to their last out. A team that hasn't won a state championship since 1941, but has been no stranger to the state tournament. The New Ulm Brewers. And a strike 1, off-speed pitch to Peterson. Second pitch in there. And Peterson's in a hole, 0-2. Mudcats of Prior Lake. 1 strike away from advancing. Waterman's pitch doesn't get Peterson to chase. Great off-speed pitch. Peterson certainly thought about it. And it's 1-2. 2 outs. Runner at first and third. And down low. Should be Zimmerman on deck for the Brewers if he gets his chance. Waterman sets. Delivers. Foul on a breaking ball. Peterson hangs in there. Peterson did go down on strikes in the 7th against Waterman. And again, New Ulm down to their last strike. Waterman wants to make sure it's a good ball. Here we go. 2-2. 2 outs. Pitch is fouled back. Way out of play. The playoff hopes of New Ulm in the hands of Brody Peterson. The base hit. Make this a 2-run game. Here's a 2-2 pitch. In there for strike 3! And the Prior Lake Mudcats have completed the comeback. Alex Waterman gets the win as the Mudcats were down 10-2. An 11-run 7th inning propels them to a 13-10 win, and they are on to the second round here in the Class C tournament. It'll be Prior Lake, the Mudcats, taking on Kimball next Saturday at 5 p.m. in Milroy.
Second weekend,
Wow.
number 1 seeds from all the regions coming in. 16 more.
So again, the turning moment of the game.
Hope to see you around. Get your tickets. Make sure you get your
We'll run through these stats one more time. Was that 7th inning, down 10-2, and really on the verge of getting 10 run. Prior Lake, they batted 16 hitters, collected just 3 hits, but sent 11 runs across the plate thanks to 3 hit batsmen, 6 walks, and a bit of Mudcats magic. Prior Lake has advanced to the second round, 13-10, the final here. Well, it's been a fun day from Springfield here at Riverside Park. Thanks to my cameraman Alex for holding down the fort, giving you the shots of today's ball games, and also helping out with a bit of IT. And for myself, Tom Dierberger, I will be back here next Saturday. Tune in for more coverage of the state town ball tournament here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Good night.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.